I was working on this deck last night. I think this deck is pretty good, although I'm still trying to figure out a few different things. Specifically, the mana base is kind of tricky to figure out. Like, I think I really want to be on Archmage's Charm, but in your 3-color Ice-Fang deck, the mana gets a bit tricky. I'm thinking that maybe Ice Tunnel is going to help us out a bit, having a Snow Dual land. But I also think that having both a Snow Dual land and a Triome in your 24 land deck might be too many tap lands. So I could definitely see cutting this. I played a league with it and without it last night and just wasn't sure how I felt about it. I'm not sure about the main deck on Earth, but I think it's pretty good. I guess I should slow down a bit. So this is a Sultai control deck that is playing Lurrus as a companion. This deck really started off because I was trying to make Witch's Cottage work, and I thought Witch's Cottage plus Snapcaster Ice-Fang was pretty sweet. And the mana just like supporting Cottage in this deck was just not that good, but just Lurrus as a companion in a Sultai control deck did feel really good. So my first draft didn't have Tarmogoyf, but I felt like I was a little light on win conditions, and I feel like just a handful of Goyfs really do give us that closing power that we need, and Goyf is not that bad in the format right now. So I'm not sure how this is going to go exactly. I'm still definitely trying to figure out the main deck, the sideboard, but in my testing yesterday, the deck felt really powerful, so let's play some. Usually I don't stream this late, so I feel like a lot of the usual audience isn't going to be here. We'll just see how it goes. Weird hand. Probably a hand that we should keep. But if this is a matchup where Fatal Push is bad, we're going to lose pretty quick. And we haven't seen Lurrus revealed either. But looks like it is a Fatal Push matchup. Kind of. I mean, I imagine this is Goblins. Goblins is probably a bad matchup. I think I'm leading on Misty, just thinking about Archmage's Charm in my deck. Finished dinner, awesome. Only 14 hits off Lurrus. Yeah, that's plenty. I feel like 14 is like a really high amount even. Probably better to play Goyf than Ice-Fang. I'm a little bit worried about Munitions Expert. Notably, if we can Ice-Fang into Archmage's Charm, stealing that vial is going to be pretty nice. And then get the Goyf down. See, even this matchup, we've got Explosives, which are medium. Gust are okay too. Lightning Bolt, okay. It's Elementals. Okay, was not expecting it to be Elementals, and I was also not expecting Lightning Bolt to be in the mix. My opponent is also getting a Risen Reef. This matchup is likely bad. Yeah, I wasn't expecting Lightning Bolts. I was expecting them to be Goblins, but looks like I did choose incorrectly. If they have a 2-mana creature to Violin, it's entirely likely or that we're not going to be able to overcome this card advantage. Thunderkin, wow. Yeah, Elementals is so incredibly good in these kinds of matchups. I mean, I need to kill both the Reef and the Awakener before they get a draw. Notably, my opponent doesn't have Kihira as a companion, which is a bit weird. I'm trying to think if there's any strategic reason to do it. Maybe Phantasmal Image is the card you'd want to play to lose Kihira as a companion. But I feel like, especially in your Vial deck, I would probably be playing it. Birds of Paradise. Oh yeah, that's also a card that makes sense. Well, they already have 8 1-drops with their Harbinger Vial. Mirror Entity. Hit me for 5. Well, things are off to a shaky start. Ice-Fang is also not death touching yet right now. I think we need to tap draw this turn. Yeah, Omnath plus Entity is kind of a combo. Opponent's list looks really cool. Yeah, time to pivot. I mean, yeah, Elementals definitely preys on decks like ours. Alright, so now if we can draw a fetch land and kill the Omnath or the Mirror... Probably, maybe Mirror Entity is more important. Yeah, I'd like to play Goyf, Ice-Fang, and push, ideally, so I'm going to go ahead and go Ice-Fang before I Cling to Dust. There we go. Now we can go fetch for a basic forest. Push Mirror Entity. And play Goyf. And things are kind of stabilized. Assuming my opponent doesn't draw one of their many sources of card advantage that I'm assuming they have. Ice-Fang block Omnath. Goyf blocks a lot of things. We still have Lurrus as a companion to grab. Have our Cling to Dust. Cling to Dust helps fight against Thunderkin Awakener too. Although I guess they have 2 good targets in their graveyard for Awakener. Yeah, Goyf is currently a 3/4. Well, this attack makes me think that they drew another Omnath, but I'm also definitely blocking. I don't think I have a recourse really there. You know, we could maybe just Lurrus get back our Ice-Fang. They do have another Omnath. Brutal. Notably, we're kind of late on sorcery. We only have one actual factual sorcery in our deck, so we have artifacts to get the Goyf up to 4/5, and then you've got some other cards too, of course. I'm going to cycle the Cling to Dust. It's not a great draw. I'm probably just going to go tap draw here. If we can draw Abrupt Decay or Mishra's Bauble, we can get our Goyf up to big enough to block the Omnath. Spite Bellows, wow. This is not a Cottage deck, but Draft 1 was a Cottage deck. Okay, so Spite Bellow's ability is actually not a May, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to return the Goyf, tap my opponent's team, and then they have to kill their own Harbinger. Or maybe bouncing Harbinger was better, because then they have to kill their own Omnath. No, I have to bounce the Goyf, yeah. Never mind. Yeah, cool line for sure. Can't remember how many times these have triggered. Are they going to get to hit me for 4? They are. Down to 4 life. And they have a spell. A Thunderkin Awakener? Oh, no. Well, we tried our best. Seems like a hard matchup. The explosives don't even seem like that potent to me. But they're what we have. Gonna try to cut these forces and the mana leaks. Probably have to play some amount. Gust seems okay. Spellbomb to start off their Awakener stuff might be important. Might be a little too slow. I feel like I don't want this trophy either. Play 1 mana leak. Play a second Unearth. Tarmogoyf is an interesting choice. Yeah, I think if you want Lurrus as a companion in this like style, you need Tarmogoyf to have more win conditions. I played a couple leagues without Tarmogoyf, and you know I was able to win, but I just like I played against Jeskai and I just had a really hard time closing out the game. What are the reasons for Trophy over Pulse? So that you can hit lands. Like having like an answer to lands is kind of a big deal against like Tron and Titan. That's my thinking, at least. There's a lot of Tron at the moment. Trying to think of, does Blightbeetle do anything? Pro Green is not that bad. Alright, on the play. This seems like a rough matchup, though. Okay, we can keep this. One thing I like about this hand is, like, stealing Aether Vial is a pretty powerful thing to do in this matchup, I think. Doogie has redeemed a confidence boost. But it's mulled to 5, so maybe that's the confidence boost in action. Thank you, Clothis. Oh, I also ordered a foil Clothis, so I'm going to try to build a shrine to her. Assuming I'm still worshipping her by the time it comes in. Interesting. So this is kind of like the same idea, but Grixis. One thing is that I think Archmage's Charm is much more difficult to play in Grixis compared to Sultai without a Triome. You can probably make it work, though. But I kind of feel like, personally, I'd rather be like a little more in on discard spells and playing Kroxa instead of being in on like all these like really heavy blue cards. And you can still play some counter spells. Like you can maybe play like Drowns and Forces. But I feel like for this style of deck, Kroxa and discard spells are more so where I'd want to be. I think you've got a fine draft here. Let me look at the mana again. I will also say Creeping Tar Pit is a card that I am super low on, and if you disagree, it's fine. We can just disagree. But I'm very low on Tar Pit. I could put Lurrus into my hand here. I think I'd rather hold up mana, though. I really don't like the Mire Tritons in the sideboard. I think that card's too underpowered for Modern. I'm just going to draw 2. I don't want to spend my whole turn spending 1 mana to answer this when I have just 2 1-mana answers. Kind of bummed I didn't get to steal a Vial. It's always one of my favorite things to do. Alright. I think I'm going to take the time to Lurrus in hand, push, pass. Oh, sorry, it was a confidence boost. I'm sorry. That's why I don't... Well, I hope that you at least appreciated the input. I will instead say this is a perfect Grixis list. I love the Valkyries. The Valkyries look super, super sick. Perfect mana, Creeping Tar Pit card I love. Love it. Grixis is great. There's your confidence boost. What do they get? They got a Smoke Braider. It's fine. Yeah, I don't think that I'm going to need to like snap push this turn. I think I'm just going to get my Ice Tunnel to play tap, draw 2. Could also like Aether Gust, Smoke Braider. I think I'm going to hold the Gust. The Gust seems like pretty nice while they have Cavern over there. Yeah, I'm not sure about this Ice Tunnel. I played a league with it yesterday, and I also played a league without it, and I just couldn't figure out if it was a card I wanted or not. Opponent's top card is Wooded Foothills. It was good sometimes, but also like just a lot of times I found myself just fetching Triome instead. Draw 2. Thank you, Lurrus. Just for being yourself. Don't know if we're going to be as lucky from our opponent to mulligan, low again in game 3, but this game feels pretty over. I kind of thought about I've played Lurrus as a Lurrus or Control Lurrus, whatever, in decks like this in the past, and I have liked it. Just the biggest issue though is actually closing the game, and I had the idea yesterday to play Goyf, and then Goyf felt pretty important to the overall game plan of the deck, which is pretty cool. I kind of feel like 2 spell bombs is maybe too many. Like we have so many answers to Awakener. What blue-black control list have I liked the best lately? I don't add the third color. If you scroll back in my Stream Decker, I feel like I've got a good Dimir control list. You might have to scroll back a little bit, but there should be one there. I wonder if Thoughtseize is a good card in this matchup. Shadow's moving, so Weston, what if we consider playing 2 Bring to Lights and 2 Valkies? No, I kind of feel like if you're going to be on the Bring to Light Valky plan, you need to have other targets for Bring to Light, you know what I mean? It's an interesting idea, but I feel like the whole direction would change. I feel like you probably just don't even want Lurrus as a companion. As an Elements player, someone casts Thoughtseize, I laugh. Fair enough. I'm just kind of worried that like Mana Leak seems like such a bad card to me that like I kind of feel like the first Thoughtseize is better. When they have all these caverns and stuff. But I agree it's like not a very good card of the matchup. It's just like the Mana Leak seems so bad against the Cavern Vial deck. Like, I think you could probably afford Spell Snare, just because if whenever you do get to cast it, it's such a nice swing. Yeah, but Bring to Light would be it's a fairy hero of Dominaria, S card, not a tutor. I think I haven't thought much about it. You know, one thing is you also probably need to play at least a fourth color. You need to at least play red to Damnation, and at that point, like the rest of your deck becomes much harder to cast. It's interesting. Maybe if you think it's great, and I'm a boomer, you could try it. Trophy. I don't know. I feel like Trophy is so bad against them. I'm gonna play one Thoughtseize. Good to see you today. I was a little worried when I didn't see you at work. Yeah, there was a MTGO maintenance today, so I couldn't stream this morning. If I'm ever not doing a usual stream, I will often change the stream title to say why I'm not on, so you can like pop into the offline stream and see what's going on. Yeah, maybe second Spellbomb would have been better. Could see that. Let's keep this. Let's put back push number 3, I think. I want to keep the Bauble for Lurrus. If they do have a Vial and we get to steal the Vial and maybe just Vial and Lurrus, that could be pretty powerful. We have a lot of 2-mana creatures too. Awesome. It's kind of what I asked for, I guess. Okay. This is a decision point. Foliage, thank you for your Twitch Prime. Hope you're having a good day. Are we going to try to steal the Vial, or are we going to just blow it up next turn? I think we should probably just try to blow it up next turn. So let me go ahead and bobble myself looking for a land. There's an Ice-Fang on top. I think I'll just go ahead and shuffle that. Getting Watery Grave. Another creature I try is Pack Rat. I'm not very high on Pack Rat, although the card is very cool. I lost a lot of standard games to Pack Rat. Interesting that they are going to Vial into the explosives. I guess it doesn't matter that much. Grabbing a Smoke Braider. Well, we can't let them untap with Smoke Braider, so I think we're pushing that this turn. I think you can never let them untap with this if you can help it. Can get the Triome here. Although I may end up saving it for Revolt, like if they go... I guess they can't play Risen Reef here, because they have Bloodcrypt Sacred Foundry. But if they somehow play a 3-drop I want to push, then I'll wait. Oh, I guess this gives me Revolts, never mind. Wow, just a third 1-drop into the Vial, or to the explosives. They might be on the Skelly plan. Yeah, maybe. They are on the Skelly plan. So we will crack the explosives in their upkeep to give us Revolts. Yeah, officially on the Skelly plan. Ice-Fang says, I am going to be in your hand, Spike. Whether you like it or not. See if they accidentally shuffle away their Skelly. They don't. No need to do it in upkeep. Just wait till attackers. It does matter because then then they get to Vial in like a different 3-drop potentially. They might get to go Vial in a second Skelemental and cast the one from hand. So I think I don't want to let them get 2 3-drops this turn. Why let them Vial in a 2-drop? I mean, they could Vial in a 2-drop. They didn't Vial in a 2-drop on my end of turn there, so I don't think they had one in their hand. They also didn't get a second black. Oh no, sorry, I thought this was double black, 1 red. Misremembered. Bush is active. Yeah, that's why I did it on upkeep, to have it be active. I think we sequenced it right. It was definitely kind of a weird spot, I agree. But now we're in commanding position. Nice. Nice. My opponent didn't play anything last turn. Let me go ahead and Bauble them and see if like they're gonna draw something that I'm scared of. But I think that they either have removal or like green cards in hand. They have a Risen Reef on top. They haven't played a green source, so I think that's gonna be a dead draw. Although if they've been sandbagging a green source and they just slam Risen Reef and we don't get to counter it, it's a big deal. But I think I'm just putting Lurrus into the hand. Yeah, I don't think that they have a green source. Obviously, we could, we also can, we're not just dead if they get to Reeve. What's the opponent playing? They're playing Elementals. They stomped us game 1. They absolutely stomped us game 1. So we're going to play Lurrus, Bauble, and hold up Charm. If they do bolt my Lurrus, we're not going to fight over it, of course, because we have the Unearth in hand. Yeah, Lurrus definitely a really big payoff in this deck. They're drawing another Risen Reeve. Good mana opponent. I think I'm countering. Opponent's hand is 2 Risen Reefs, 2 mystery cards. Thanks, Royal Egg. Yeah, I think this deck's really cool. I spent like 4 hours off stream last night working on it, and then I woke up this morning to find out there was MTGO maintenance. They're drawing a Thunderkin Awakener, so we're going to make sure to play our Spellbomb here. Our top card is an Abrupt Decay, which I'll go ahead and draw. I woke up super pumped to play this, and then saw that there was maintenance. But I'm still pretty pumped. Wonder why they fetched Sacred Foundry instead of Gloomshot, maybe Vesperlark. Yeah, that's a good read, I think. It's a good read. Although they would need... Could they have gotten... Yeah, they could have had green-red off of Mire. Their mana base is weird. I kind of feel like you would want to have... You could play a mana base that's, Ziggurat, Cavern, and the other one. Like, I feel like they're playing a lot of fetches and shocks, and I feel like you could probably make it work where you don't have to play so many. But maybe they just drew like all their fetches and shocks that game, and they did have Cavern in games 1 and 2. Yeah, Reflecting Pool seems like a card I'd be playing. Unclaimed Territory, yeah, that was couldn't remember the name. Could keep this. Let's go to 6. Keep this one probably. I think I'm going to put back second basic island because we really need to draw a green source here. Let's stop running the rainbow mana base because they want Birds of Paradise for acceleration. Fair enough. I haven't every time I try to build elementals, I just start building Jund Shamans instead. So I'm definitely not an expert. Snow-covered plains, Aether Vial. Look here. I guess I maybe could have looked at my own top. It's probably a bit better. I'm gonna force though. They have a Ghost Quarter on top, so I'm really hoping to draw a green source. We have 2 looks. I thought I had bottomed the snow-covered island. At least we have Lurrus to put in the hand next turn if we draw nothing. Yeah, I guess the fetches for Omnath do make some sense, yeah. Thalia, sure. Awkward mana this game. Maybe I could have kept that 7-card hand. I don't know, 5 lands, Bauble, Snapcaster doesn't seem like a keep. But maybe against taxes it is. Maybe my opponent will Ghost Quarter my Ice Tunnel for me. Pretty good. Or Field of Ruin, rather. What do you think about Grizzly Salvage? I really like Grizzly Salvage, as I like any card from the Return to Ravnica block. However, I think it's not a card that this deck wants to play. Man, Archon is so good. Can't cast that because of Thalia. Yeah, if I knew it was taxes, I'd probably keep that first hand. GG Scrub. It was my first match on stream with the deck. Glad that you like it. People on Twitter were pretty excited for this morning. I spent like 4 hours testing it last night, and I was really excited to play it today. Then there's MTGO maintenance. Bold move, Standing Dragon's Maze. I unironically love Dragon's Maze. Love Dragon's Maze. I did probably 300 conservatively drafts of Dragon's Maze, Gatecrash, Return to Ravnica. Love the explosives. I can play second Unearth. I can play the first Thoughtseize. Probably don't. I think we can probably play the first Unearth, but the second one seems like a lot against like exile-based removal. Let's play the first Thoughtseize. There's a bookstore in your hometown that sells Dragon's Maze packs. I'd scoop them up. I love Dragon's Maze. Got alternate art guild gates. I opened, I think, like 4 Shocklands out of Dragon's Maze packs. Felt like a king. Hey, B-boy. Alright, on the play. Alright, functional mana. Doesn't get more poggers than functional mana. Let's keep this. And it's also kind of nice that we have no fetches in hand. When you play D&T, do I play Pass or Onto Ice? I have never played Death and Taxes. No, I have played Death and Taxes, actually. I played it at a PPTQ once. I would probably be main decking Onto Ices. You know, Path to Exile, if you don't have Arbiter in play, is so counterintuitive to your mana denial game plan. And I just don't understand acting like Lean and Arbiter is a ley line that you're always going to have, but if you're really good at drawing Arbiter, play Path, and if you're not, play Onto Ice. Onto Ice is really only, it's worse against specifically Death and Taxes, Ponza, and Titan. And then Onto Ice tends to be better against, you know, the other decks of the metagame. Specifically Heliod, Prowess, Shadow. I am scared of that Archon, but I'm going to take the Stoneforge Mystic. We can actually try to like snap Thoughtseize on turn 3. You open your time scroll box with the old board of Thoughtseize. That's awesome. Congrats. So I mentioned this earlier, but I ordered a foil Clothis, and I'm gonna try to build a shrine to her. Maybe it's just better to slam Goyf, though. EE on 3, kill Sword and Archon. Yeah, we can. Yeah, I guess that's a good point. I think just like, you know, this is definitely point against Ice Tunnel. Ice Tunnel is not a card I'm sure I want to be playing. It's, you know, to make Ice-Fang a bit better. But I played a league with Ice Tunnel yesterday and one without, and I just am not sure if I want to have it in the deck or not. Yikes. Man, my whole hand is just graveyard cards. We also have 2 Decays, 1 Trophy, and I am happy to have an answer to the Rest in Peace, but I do wish it was a different answer. I think that we're just going to have to do this at some point, so let's just make that point now. I dreamt last night I opened an old border token called Yawgmoth's Big Boy. It's awesome. Stoneforge getting Batterskull. Maybe another tough matchup. So we have an attack here. If they block, we can cycle Triome. I don't think they're going to block, but we have the attack. Muscle Mathis, thank you for your tier 1 subscription. Hope you're having a good day today. Oh yeah, I should probably commission a Clothis emote. Madison's so busy right now. I'll try to see if I can get her to make me a Clothis emote. Alright, knowing the contents of their hand, I'm going to go ahead and play the explosives on 3. Muscle Mathis, tier 1 subscription, or sorry, that was a follow. Thank you for the follow, Capo. Yeah, the top deck Rest in Peace was so brutal. Opponent's gonna maybe play. They're gonna play Sword of Fire and Ice here, which gets to kill my Goyf, and then draw them a card, and then we spend our turn explosivesing. They're playing Archon, and then putting in Batterskull. Sure. I guess it's kind of hard to draw an untapped land here, but that is what I would like to draw. So Zagoth becomes a 3/4 if we sack the explosives. So we could just sack now and attack. But then that's really softer than putting a sword into play. We know they have Sword of Fire Ice in hand. Yeah, I know they have Skull, but they also have the sword. Oh, right, if we attack, we also get got by Skull. That's what you're saying. Alright, it's going to take 4. I believe the sword's the only card we know about. We're not going to get to mana leak it either. Interesting to do this now. Skiver is a problem too. Let's see what we draw. I might just be putting Lurrus into my hand. Next turn we can go Lurrus EE on 0. We also can go like Snap Trophy this turn. I mean, I feel like I'd rather be trophying the Sword of Fire Ice than the Batterskull, but I'm not sure. I was kind of thinking if I drew a land, then Goyf would be a 4/5. Although I guess if I Snap Trophy, Goyf goes on to 3/4, but if I mana leak, it's back to 4/5. What I can do is like, I can just like chump block the Germ this turn, and then next turn go Lurrus, get back EE on 0. I feel like Lurrus is our path to victory here. I guess I could cast a Lurrus and the EE this turn that taps me out of mana leak. But like, we're just like not leaking anything, so no. But if I do this, then they get to go Giver, pro green, kill Lurrus. I guess I could chump block with Lurrus at that point, but it's not very exciting. Trophy the Germ. Seems not very good. Yeah, if I leave mana up, my opponent's not going to tap Giver, and I'll just chump block. I guess I don't need to chump block. I could just take 6 and let him draw a card. I'm going to chump block. They're going to give pro green. Pro green is so ballsy against the Sultai deck here. Yeah. This mana leak's super dead. If only they were playing Yorion, I'd get to mana leak something. Is it better to just play Snapcaster from the or Goyf from the yard than it is to play explosives? We'll see what we draw, I guess. You should have AT'd the Batterskull so many turns ago instead of popping EE. I disagree with you. I disagree with you. If I had Assassin's Trophied the Batterskull the first turn it came down, I was going to get hit by the Sword of Fire Ice. But it's fine to disagree. I could be wrong. I'm wrong sometimes. But it's got to stop on my upkeep for some reason. They're going to Field of Ruin me. Ooh. 1 mana short of Lurrus explosives, sack explosives, and decay. Also can Assassin's Trophy with the Arcana play because of the spell, of course, yeah. Do we want to pop E first anyways? Yeah. I think I was right. Let's just focus on like where we're at. This is a pretty complicated game anyways. But I agree. I feel like I did make the right play. Decay twice. Yeah. Yeah, we can go like Decay Giver, Snap Decay Sword. That's probably the play. Good draw, of course. Goes without saying. Lurrus E and 0. I think this is the better line. Obviously, there's like just a million choices here. Let's do it now, I think. Thank you for the kind words, Joseph. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. I'm really not thinking very hard personally about bannings or unbannings now. I think Modern's in a good shape, good space. So I don't currently think that I'd like to see any bans or unbans, but I'm glad you're liking the stream. And I hope that you get all your wishes as far as, you know, bans, unbans go one day. I think we're getting swamped because we have the Lurrus. If they hit this, we'll get the forest. We're pulling back. I think we've sequenced this game really well. Opponent's also, you know, flooded out for sure. Okay, they do get to Ghost Quarter my Triome, but that's beatable. I might chump block here. Kind of like Snapcaster in the yard. It also blocks here. Yeah, I'll wait a turn on. I don't think I need to do this. We're probably going Lurrus Explosives on 0, right? This turn. Interesting draw. We can't hold that up though. But it does have no cards in hand. How's the deck feeling so far? Pretty good. I'm still trying to figure the list out a bit. Oh, they drew another land. Still trying to figure the list out a bit. I spent like 4 hours last night testing and stuff. Playing a lot of different like ideas. But I think I've got like a good draft now, and the deck feels pretty good. I'm not sure how good. It's gonna take a lot of games. You know, I only have one Dono deck in the queue for tomorrow, I think. I might have two, but I think we'll have some time to play this deck tomorrow as well. Or at least that's what I'm kind of hoping. Did you hate putting 3 Archmage's Charms in? I mean, I love Archmage's Charm. Hating putting it in is definitely not true. It was difficult to make the mana work. I think the mana does work, but it's not as good as other decks for sure. And it's possible that you could go different directions, but I think Charms are really good. Maybe I was supposed to do this. Maybe I wasn't supposed to do this now. Because they can just bounce Skull and replay it. But, I mean, this lets us hit them and gain some life. And I guess if they just bounce Skull and replay it, then we can E on 0, then mana leak it next turn. Yeah, I think this is fine. Assuming they don't just, like, draw Path right now. Or Skyclave. Yeah, Thali is fine. I can't help but wonder if this was not as good as just bouncing Skull and replaying it. They also didn't equip. I guess they're just planning on bouncing it. Yeah, Lurrus plus EE is pretty good. They have 8 mana, leak is dead. Not if they, on their turn, pick up Batterskull and replay it. Which for some reason they didn't do. In step. But it's not dead. It's funny. They have 8 mana, leak is dead, immediately gets to mana leak the Batterskull. But obviously they did misplay, so they misplayed really hard, but do you ever play a second copy of Lurrus main deck or in the sideboard? Well, if you have a Lurrus in your main deck, you don't get to play Lurrus as a companion, so I never do that, no. If I do sometimes play Lurrus as a main deck card though. Was that game 1? No, that was game 2. Yeah, I didn't take your opponent's misplaying into account, but I mean it also wasn't dead because like we could keep killing the germ token and maybe like the double spell is, I'm not sure. I think I'm resubmitting. Doesn't seem like a great matchup. Yeah, what did my opponent say here? Pescato Bene? Saying I drew well. Yeah, I mean my opponent drew pretty badly. They flooded out super bad. I mean, I'm sure whatever it is, it's, you know, something about me getting luckier than them. Put almost to 5. They're just saying salt. Okay, well, I'm probably playing explosives on turn 1. And now I'm going to get a Watery Grave so that my opponent plays turn 2 Arbiter. I can push it and not lose. Yeah, I definitely drew well. They are drawing an Arbiter. Yeah, I guess I'm going to wait on the explosives. I think I'd rather just push the Arbiter. Although I guess like they could maybe just play Thalia instead. But if they play Thalia, I get to fetch on turn 2, which is nice. I think we got some lag here. That's usually what this means, right? Should I hit him with the lag check? Should I restart Magic Online? Should I just wait? It says waiting for server. When I hover over it, I'm going to go ahead and restart Magic Online. You know, we did just get an update, so really anything could go wrong here. C4 redeemed with deck tech. Good timing, assuming Magic Online is dying. Yeah, I think I'm just holding up the push here. I'm gonna wait a second for things to load. Well, it hasn't been claimed. Yeah, we actually just started the stream like an hour ago, C4, because there was moto maintenance. Interesting. Give me a second here. Lantern. I will say, playing one card in the Great Creator seems very weird to me. I feel like you can play like 3 maybe if you're like worried about curve, but I feel like Karn is like usually a 4 or 0 kind of card. I also feel like I'm not a, I don't know. Playing they did have a Thalia and Arbiter here. We have Mana Leak on top. I'm gonna shuffle. So do we play EE on 2? Let's see what we draw, I guess. Yeah, I think we're playing EE on 2. I like the Engineers a lot. I'm not sure how good these Geese are going to end up being. I kind of feel like they're going to end up being underwhelming. This is also pretty soft against Flickerwiz. Their hand is Arbiter Mystery card. If they have Arbiter Ghost Quarter, we still get to explosives here. Yeah, I kind of feel like I'd just like to go -3 Goose, +1 land, +2 Karn. I like that Stirrings can find lands. Bow of Nylea is a card I've played as a Karn tutor target, and as much as I wish it were playable, I don't believe that it is. There are some memes that cannot be. Yeah, I have played it before. I just don't think it's there. 3 could be interesting. Tron's the Nightmare matchup. Yeah, then Karn helps that a lot as well. Yeah, or I also think that you could, like, it's possible, like, Urza and Imri is a better plan anyways. I was supposed to play Shores last turn, actually. I was kind of thinking that we get to fetch before Arbiter comes down here. They also took their Vial up to 3. So if they Vial and like Mind Sensor, I'll leave push up. Let's go do this. Not waste my mana forever. Obviously, I want to sack the explosives before I start Ice-Fanging. I guess if they have Flicker Wisp, they get us kind of good. Although Ice-Fang lines up pretty well against the Wisp. Right, their head is Arbiter to one mystery card. They'll have a second one. Officially been got good. You actually just play this to be able to block the Wisp. And I would really like to draw an untapped land. Maybe we made a big pump by playing the Shores. Again, we knew they had Arbiter, so I was trying to play the fetch first. Goose. Change the deck. Yeah, maybe Goose is great. I'm just kind of worried about like turning on your opponent's Fatal Pushes, but I guess Goblin does that anyways. If Goose is busted, and I'm wrong, but I'm just not sure that I'm into it. Put it deep in the tank. I'm wondering if the Goose is loose. Opponent is in the tank. Deep in the tank. I'm trying to argue. No, yeah. I hope I didn't feel like I wasn't arguing either. Thanks, Iceman. Somehow I doubt that. That looks like your mom is something. Not lagging again? Oh, we might be. I'll do a lag check. No. You weren't coming off that way, C4. Don't worry about it. I thought, yeah. Not at all. It's my opponent's clock that's being taxed here. I don't think it's a server issue. Nobody explained to you why Goose is broken or bad. We're talking about in a Lantern control deck, Goose like potentially being good. It gives us Revolt. If I Bauble my opponent, they're more likely to Field of Ruin me because they'll deny me information. So I'm doing it now. They're drawing Archon of Emeria. So they may like let Thalia come into play, then Field of Ruin. I'm not going to push the Flicker Wisp when the Ice-Fang just blocks it so well. But if they do Field of Ruin me, I think I'm just pushing Thalia after because I'll get to float mana and then I get another mana. They decide not to. We get to draw a card. That card is Prismatic Vista. Or Vista, I can't remember. So they have Arbiter, Archon, Mystery card. They can just go ahead and Violent Archon this turn. They have an attack for 2. Alright. I don't really get this. We'll see. I don't think there's anything that punishes this. Yeah, okay. I don't really get that attack. I could be missing something. Maybe I'll find out in a second here. That's a really, really interesting draw. I think what I'm doing here is I'm going to start off by... Blind Man, thank you for gifting the sub. That was really nice of you. I'm going to play Prismatic Vista so that way my opponent can't Violent Archon after I push. Push Arbiter, play Goyf. Well, I can't. I think that they're gonna Violent Archon, and then we'll go Coatl on their turn. What's nice about? I guess they just Violent in response, huh? That's fine. We'll just fetch on their turn, and on their upkeep, it shouldn't make a difference. Notably, the Coatl doesn't have Death Touch, so we're gonna take 4, but. Should be fine. Because the next turn, Goyf is going to be able to check the Thalia, and Ice-Fang will be able to check the Archon. Really, really interesting game we've had here. I'm getting into Forest. Probably doesn't matter that much. So does Lantern basically have no good main board graveyard hate these days? Probably not. Non-basics and tapped. Yeah, but I played the Vista first, so before they put the Archon into play. And Vista only hits basics, so I'm confused. Confused what the confusion is. Why not Flashing Coatl with Vial in the stack? I don't see what that accomplishes. Why not fetch in your turn? Well, if I fetch in response to, I guess it's a little bit better to fetch on our turn if they're one unknown with Aven Mind Sensor. Yeah, you're right. Actually, it's gonna be Skyclave. It is Skyclave. What are they going after? They go after Goyf. And it does let them attack with Thalia. Alright, well, no reason to float because I can't play another spell because of Archon. It's got 2 cards. Very close game. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to try to block here. I can even Logic Knot post combat if Archon dies, so it's an interesting draw. Man, Ice-Fang's so good. They still have 2 cards. We can Logic Knot any 1 or 2 mana spell here. I won't Logic Knot a Vial probably. Wait, we can Logic Knot through Thalia, right? We can, but I think I'm just letting the Vial resolve. Casting Cling. Do you want to gain 3 life or draw a card? Let's draw a card. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I had that right. I did, and I just wasn't 100% sure. Which is pretty cool that you can. I guess I'm pushing on their upkeep. If they have Flick Wisp, it's a problem. Just like earlier. And we can only Spell Snare a 2-drop this turn anyways, so I don't think there's like really a point. I guess they can have a one drop, but like I was talking about holding up not versus push, but I'm just gonna push now. And if they have another Thalia, which they could have as their like 1 unknown, it would make sense. We might get to snare Thalia here, which would be pretty great. Awesome. So 2 pretty close matches, both against Aether Vial decks, against Elementals and then Taxes. Opponent revealed Lurrus. I'm gonna keep. Do I like eggs and toast? Sometimes, not really. It's kind of a boring breakfast. Any thoughts on Dead of Winter? Dead of Winter could make the deck. We don't have a ton of snow support though. But it's definitely a card to consider. I kind of like Explosives as our sweeper of choice because we're a Lurrus deck, which was pretty relevant in the first 2 games. Yeah, Dead of Winter Goyf's kind of nice. So Lurrus, Thoughtseize, probably Jund Shadow because of the foothills. Could be red-black. What about Tasigur? Tasigur doesn't work with Lurrus, so I'm not inclined to play it. It took Snapcaster, as every person who's ever cast a discard spell immediately takes Snapcaster without thinking about it, as they were commissioned to do in the Splinter Twin days. Is it crazy to think that I might cycle this Triome? I think it's not super likely, especially because we have Lurrus. A big reason why we're playing Tarmogoyf is because we're playing Lurrus as a companion, which is really powerful in a deck like this, but you have to jump through hoops. You gotta jump through hoops. Wonder if you could fit Pitter Blossom here somewhere to power up Goyf. I'm not sure if this is a serious suggestion. I think my opponent has Scourge, so I think I'd rather try to push that. I am of the opinion that Bitter Blossom is not a modern playable card. Why Darkshock not River of Tears? I did have River of Tears in a draft earlier. I think you could play River of Tears instead. It's kind of close. Maybe one of each. Very interesting that they'd play Goyf into the push. I mean, they probably just have to. They probably have another 2-drop. So we're going to Lurrus here. That's a bold opinion, certainly niche, but you don't think it's playable on power level? No, not absolutely not. Bitter Blossom is super cool. I would love to play Bitter Blossom. I like Bitter Blossom. I don't think the card is good enough for Modern. I hate saying it, you know. I hate to be the Debbie Downer. Yeah, definitely flooding a bit. Yeah, like maybe fringe playable sideboard card, but I think it's very rarely going to be your like best choice for any deck. Was it insane to play Island over Fastland? Maybe it was better to try to get Death Touch on Ice-Fang. Certainly something to think about, especially because we get to Death Touch here. Flood is very real. Lurrus is good in Flood Insurance, of course. It's kind of why you play the card. We can't fetch Basic Forest here, which stinks. If you disagree with me that Bitter Blossom is a playable Magic card, that's fine. I don't intend to argue all day. I hope that you're right. I hope that Bitter Blossom is great. I hope that Bitter Blossom is better than I think it is, because the card is very cool. Gonna see if my opponent casts TBR. I think they have it. I don't know why, but it's just a feeling I got, like I'm about to be TBR'd. But I accept a deck dono to build around it. I build around Bitter Blossom. Yes, I would. How's the deck been doing? We're 2-0. I played a lot. I played like 4 hours with this deck last night, and I'm pretty excited about it. Rest in peace, Lurrus. If we can find our like one copy of Unearth, I'm feeling pretty good. Wait, they forgot about... They didn't put Lurrus into their hand last turn? That's so absurdly good. I think we have like a decent chance to win this game because of that. They have no cards in their hand. If they had just put Lurrus into their hand last turn, would they just had that mana? I can't believe they forgot about Lurrus. I guess they can put Lurrus into their hand now and cast it and get Bauble back. So if they hadn't drawn a land there, they wouldn't have been able to. Then we could have Charmed. But they also missed a Prowess trigger here. Will they forget about Lurrus again? Will they forget about Lurrus again? They do not. But they did miss a point of damage. So if we could find a removal spell for Lurrus, I'm feeling good about our position. Unearth for our Lurrus would let us snap back push. So that would be maybe the best draw. We could go Unearth, Lurrus, snap push. All right. Well, we will take this for sure. This is just going to be, you know, this is going to be us go push, Ice-Fang, Ice-Fang, Ice-Fang Charm. I guess I could steal their Swift Spear. Nah. Maybe they're playing Drowned Discard. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think you're supposed to, but I mean maybe that was the thinking. Probably stealing now though. See what we draw. Another Ice-Fang. Yeah, I'm just gonna steal it. I could play a third Ice-Fang. Should have stolen before pushing. Their Swift Spear was tapped, so it doesn't matter. Could have drawn 2 in response. They got 1 card in hand. It's a Bloodstained Mire. Alright, we should be... Oh, and we also drew the best possible. It's pretty good. They're dead to the Prowess triggers here. Nice. Dude, we flooded out pretty badly. Or maybe not that badly, but we were flooded. We were able to steal it. It feels really good. I want to cut the trophy and the forces. Probably the mana leak. Or what, like a mana leak. Maybe Cryptic 4 or 3. They'll cut the second leak. Or maybe I want to play Gust, actually. You can see playing 2 Gust here. Well, if every card we say draws a card, it's not that bad to flood. You know what? I mean, you're not wrong. Like, we can definitely draw out of the flood. But actually, decks that play cards like Ice-Fang, like Mishra's Bauble, Street Wraith, cards that just say draw a card, actually do flood out a little more often because you have less control over what cards you draw. It's something to think about. Once mold to 6 on the play. Yeah, they flooded too. That's absolutely true. Yeah, I'm just excited to win the game where I thought I had like no chance. Just like in the early games, I just had like no action at all. But I did draw really well at the end. Just kind of thinking out loud. Do you think Sultai Lurrus is better than Grixis with K Command, Valky, Sprite Dragon, and Bolt? Maybe. I have played decks like that in the past. You know, Ice-Fang, Tarmogoyf, Abrupt, Decay, Thoughtseize Trophy, Veil of Summer are all really good, and your mana is better because you have Triome, and I think the Triome is a huge deal. But still pretty early into figuring this out. You get a Triome here, I think. Ice-Fang specifically is a really, really good card in this format. I also think that Valky is not that good in Grixis. I'll say that. I think that Valky is like maybe fringe playable as a one of, but I'm not like really very into like Grixis like getting to play Valky. Like I'm not sure that I would play Valky in those decks. I'd like, yeah. Ice-Fang went to like 50 when Arrow came out. I don't remember it ever getting that high. You might be right. My memory is often, shaky at best. Actively bad at worst. Like, I might actually have gotten Ice Tunnel if it weren't in my hand there, which is kind of awkward. Whatever. We consider Thoughtseize in this deck. Well, the problem is, if we want to keep Lurrus as a companion, we don't get to play Thoughtseize. I think Lurrus as a companion is very, very powerful in this kind of deck. But I am, as you probably know, one of the biggest Thoughtseize fans there is. Yeah, people keep asking about Thoughtseize Bitter Blossom, and if someone donates for it, maybe I'll make it happen, right? Because I do like Bitter Blossom. Bitter Blossom is a super awesome card. I just don't think it's good. My opponent's drawing Inquisition, which is not good for us. We need to be able to counter this Lurrus, so I don't feel that I can. Like, let me see what I draw. Cryptic. Yeah, their hand is Lurrus mystery card. I just need to counter Lurrus here. So they're going to take my Charm. I still have Logic Knot for Lurrus. I'm going to take 2, maybe 3. And then with Ice-Fang we'll have Death Touch next turn. Thoughts on Pauper? I've had some fun playing Pauper in the past. I played a lot of Pauper Delver back when Treasure Cruise was legal, because that was the only place that let me cast Treasure Cruise for like 3 months. And I played a lot of Pauper Affinity, I've played some Pauper Elves, but I will say that the games... and this is a while ago, so the format has probably changed a bunch, but I think that the gameplay was kind of repetitive, and I also am under the impression that the Monarch mechanic has made Pauper much, much worse. One of my good friends, though, loves Pauper, though. He's obsessed with it. Any work on that Tribal Flames deck? Yeah, you know what? Let me, while my opponent's taking some time here, get your screenshotter ready. I worked on this last Sunday. I'll caution you and say I don't think that this deck was great, but maybe this is like the direction it should go in. Bleedle's playing. This is just like a worse blue-red prowess deck, but you know the idea, of course. Sacred Foundry, Sultai Triome with Tribal Flames deal 5, and then Seagate Stormcaller is good with it. And you're playing Swift Spear, playing Lava Spike, being a more, you know, burn deck. You get to play Lurrus as a companion. They're bolting me? I feel like they should have bolted Ice-Fang. I don't really like that. Because now I just get to, like, just play this. I guess I'll play this, but... What do I think the best control deck is, actually, with Shadow? I think Jeskai the best. I top 32 last weekend's PTQ with Jeskai, and so it's kind of easy for me to have that opinion, coming off like a decent tournament result with it. I could be wrong. I think Esper is good. It's really between those, I think. So I'm going to bounce to a Spirit, draw a card. It's kind of a fine draw, getting to know what they're going to be on next turn. So we get to push the Swift Spear. They're drawing Kroxa. Don't like that. Yeah, the mana in Esper is really tough. Honestly, I kind of feel like what Esper needs to do is just not play Supreme Verdict. I feel like if Esper just didn't play Supreme Verdict, then the mana gets a lot better. And just like try to just have single white, single black, especially because your spot removal is real good. But also, I kind of feel like a broken record where I just always suggest cutting Supreme Verdict. Well, that's not exactly true, but we could have cast Spell Snare instead of discarding it. Yeah, that's not exactly true, I guess. But like, I typically play less sweepers than most people. So I'm going to start off by unearthing Ice-Fang. Lonely Isotope, 2 months. I'm enjoying this deck. Me too. I'm pretty excited about it. I figured that this deck would be somewhat popular. They're drawing Death Shadow. Shadow's probably fine because Ice-Fang blocks it. Yeah, I was pretty excited about this deck. I spent a long time last night after the stream working on it, and then I woke up really pumped to play it, and then found out there was MTGO maintenance. So I've been pumped all day. I also earlier this morning, for those of you who remember, I talked about how I was playing Ori in the Will of the Wisps, and I beat it today, and I really liked it. I really liked it. I thought the game was great. I would recommend it. It's kind of like a platformer Metroid style game. It's great. And that's a great draw. Maybe I should have actually gotten Swamp there so I could cast this Ice-Fang. They're drawing a Mishra's Bauble. The game is called Ori and the Will of the Wisps. O-R-I. Were I really playing a game if it was all off stream? Yeah. Man, I know. I mean, I know that you're just joking, but I definitely am just not the kind of guy that thinks everything is content. But I like Ori if I enjoyed Hollow Knight. I don't know. Honestly, it's not the kind of game I usually enjoy. It was really like the first platformer I think I've ever played from start to finish. This is not the kind of genre I find myself usually liking, but I loved it. So it definitely feels like the kind of game that, you know, is maybe like will get you to like, you know, cross genres. I've been at 1 before. Gonna be at 1 again. Big draw step. We have a lot of good draws. Get to see a few cards here. They're gonna know about this. Another Ice-Fang. Wow. I'm gonna start off by casting 1, I think. Yikes. Let me see what I'm drawing. Prismatic Vista. So I actually need to... I need to hold this Ice-Fang to discard the Kroxa. Oh, they just get to escape Kroxa again. I have to find an answer. Off the Bauble. Yeah, I'm just dead. So many good draws there. I guess I could have attacked. Yeah, I guess I should have attacked, huh? Oh, I get, yeah, or blocked with the Lurrus. Feels bad. We bring in a couple spell bombs. Left around. Yeah, this is the same league. It's been a long one. Been a good match. Been a great league so far. Gonna try to do a shorter stream, but I think we'll play a second league. Assuming this one doesn't go for like, you know, a million hours. Sounds okay. Keep it. Lead on the ice tunnel, play Bauble and wait to crack Bauble. Play around discard spells. How do I like Goyf in this matchup? I think it's fine. Bounces off their Goyfs and blocks Swift Spear well, dodges bolts. I think it's fine. Yeah, I don't understand. I feel like Charm is just like the way better take, but just people who cast discard spells are so conditioned to take Snapcaster Mage. Although my opponent's drawing Collective Brutality, so they're getting paid off. I am gonna just try to not deal damage to myself, of course, though, because of Scourge. Is the 10k Channel Points a deck tech? It's 20,000. We can put Lurrus into our hand if we draw another land. We did. Playing Forest here so that my opponent can't cast Scourge. Flood, flood, flood. But, you know, that's why you play Lurrus, right? Flood insurance. Damn it. Obviously, we're not out of it. We also have 2 Unearths in our deck now. You know, that's like a big part of why I like the second Unearth in the sideboard is these kind of matchups revolve around Lurrus, and just having a couple of Unearths to unearth your Lurrus is, you know, game-changing. I mean, Cryptic's a great draw, though. Cryptic's definitely something that can get us back into it. I kind of feel like my opponent has Scourge. Main phase sacks Spellbomb? Why? I was looking for a land. Notably, Scourge castable now. Alright, Ice-Fang good. Another land bad. I'm gonna main phase in case I draw Goyf. Just playing this tapped. Feels bad. Obviously not out of it yet. I also flooded at the end of game 2. I wonder if this is somehow a 23 land deck. Probably not, especially because like we have Lurrus as the flood insurance. Maybe my opponent will have more discard spells too. Well, they've already cast 4, so it's not super likely, although one of them was a Brutality. I'm playing 24 lands. I don't know. Alright, that is excellent flood insurance. Alright. Hell yeah, Cling to Dust was like just maybe the best draw on the deck. Dude, winning this game would be amazing. Okay, we can Cling to Dust that. So which is what we're doing, I guess. But I sure do want to draw a card. Yikes. Maybe I do just draw a card here. No, I have to exile the Kroxa. Leave Cryptic as my only card in the yard. Right on time. Clean Stop Shadow? No, you're thinking of Scourge. Oh, right on time, Veil of Summer. Okay. Right on time, Misty Rainforest. Welcome to the chat. Yeah, thanks for the follow, Misty Rainforest. Thank you, Clothis. I bought a foil Clothis. When it gets here, I'm gonna build a little shrine to it, and when we really need top decks, I'll pray to Clothis, and we'll try to channel the energy. I promise I'm gonna build you a shrine, Clothis. Please, please, have mercy on me. Watery Clothis' devotee. She won us a match last Monday, and I promised if she won me the match, I'd forsake Hazaret and start worshiping her. But I don't know what I did to anger her. She's clearly pissed. Oh, you just Mystic Sanctuary. I haven't been Mystic Sanctuarying all game. Oh man, I'm gonna punt. This is one type of thing, like this is something that Mystic Sanctuary just like, you stopped losing games like this, which was great. Alright, please, we have so many good draws here. Okay. Right on time, baby, we're back in it. Snap. If I snap Cryptic, yeah, I think I'm gonna play this. Well, like, what if I draw Archmage's Charm? Just can yoink this and win the game. This is League 2. No, this is League 1. We're an hour and 40 minutes in. We're still in match 3. Why did you push the Swim Spirit at 14 plus life? Because it was gonna reduce my life total. I feel like it was fine. I'm gonna bounce draw, right? Could just take 8. Nah. Really bad if they have Veil. I could go counter bounce Snapcaster. It's really bad if they have a counter push. They probably do. Alright, please, I can't take another land. I also can't take a Veil of Summer here, which they could have. They have Lurrus and 2 unknowns. You think opponents on Veil? I mean, I just don't think we can play around things. Come on, are you kidding me? Clothis, please. It's not even a fetch land, so I can escape Cling. Although that lets me escape Cling. I'm gonna try to get them. They might have another TBR. I think I'm gonna try to get them to cast it. Yeah, Flooded Grove, very flavorful draw. Main phase it for Veil. I mean, my opponent didn't have Veil last turn. I think I need to like get lucky and hope that they cast, another TBR. Like them casting it last turn kind of made me think they had one. I could also just take 4 here. I could just take 4 and then Decay Lurrus. That's probably better, especially because I have charms in my deck. Yeah, taking 4 is better, I think. Although I guess I let them. I mean, they're gonna get either Swift. They're gonna get a card off of this no matter what. If we draw Archmage's Charm, do we actually just win here? Not quite right. We're at, this will be a 7/7. I guess I have Goyfs in my deck. I think they do too, but we actually target a land, so Goyf is a better draw. Please, Clothis. Please. They seal me in response. Weird. Why would they ever do this in response? What's the point? Yeah. I mean, now, Charm is lethal. I guess they have bolts, but I'm at 4. I'm just at 4. Alright, I'm at 1. Okay, Charm off the top, please. I have 3 Archmage's Charms in my deck. No, sorry, 2. Already drew 1. Yes! Praise be to Clothis! I can't believe it! We flooded so badly! All praise to Clothis. She works in mysterious ways. It's hard to understand in the moment, but everything works well in the end. Coleslaw, 7 months. Hope you're having a good day, buddy. Oh my gosh. Praise be to Clothis. Three and 0, baby. 3-0. Yeah, Clothis. Playing against Lurrus again. Gonna keep this a hand, I think. Yeah, we've got to increase the size of the shrine. I also thought it'd be funny if instead of this background to have like a what do you call those? A pin board, and like have like, you know, yarn everywhere and have it all be magic themed like a crazy, like it's always. It looks like we're playing the mirror. My opponent says I got to stop running into you when you're playing the decks you designed. I think we're playing the mirror. Kind of funny with like the very first league I'm streaming with this, but I did tweet out the deck this morning. We've got a pretty good draw. The Everett's Brew Station. Yeah, I think it would be really fun. I might try to. I guess I could have even tried to put it together today. Now they have their 1 Spell Snare. Yeah, it's been a long week so far. I mean, Esther's working kind of late tonight, so maybe have a late stream. We'll see. Push is not very mana efficient here. I think I'm holding up Charm. Get a Clothis playmat for the wall. I ordered a foil one. I mean, I do like the playmat wall a lot, but I feel like just like a giant crazy corkboard with like, you know, yarn everywhere and like lots of jokes on it would be better. But maybe like you couldn't really see it with like how small my webcam is. It'd be funny though. Maybe take 3 more. I think we counter this. It's kind of nice to get back-to-back 2-for-1s in this matchup. Use a green screen so you can keep changing it. It's kind of interesting. Don't hate the idea. I might even go as far to say I like the idea. Do you think Esper Control should be playing Reflecting Pool? Reflecting Pool is way better in decks that have Triomes, but I think Reflecting Pool might be better than one of the filter lands. Yeah, maybe good to invest in a green screen. You know, Esther and I are trying to move still. So, you know, maybe like all these theoretical stream upgrades could happen after that. I'm gonna cycle to try. I don't think I mean, the Ice-Fang is gonna be Death Touch with just any basic, so I think it's fun to get the. But I didn't put Lurrus in hand. I might put Lurrus in hand this turn. Also have Snap Crypt. This is good though. I think like Lurrus is just like good to put in your hand when you start playing Draw Go. We've also gotten, you know, 2/2-for-1s, which is nice. Yeah, I think they have Cryptic. I agree. I think I'm actually gonna force this. It's really nice to exile Archmage's Charm and the Snapcaster Mirror. And Force is like kind of a weak card anyways. Like, it's also possible Mana Leak's getting kind of dead, but we're playing the Mirror. Like, there's really nothing I would... Like, they're playing Lurrus. That I don't need to hold up Force for Jace, which, you know, is nice to know. Yeah, our opponent said that they took... I tweeted this list this morning, and my opponent said that they... Alright, probably not jamming. I guess we could go Lurrus Goyf. Can we go Lurrus Goyf with Leak Up? We can. It's probably good enough. Let's get a Forest first. It's a good turn. I appreciate the thought, Prin. I don't need. I'll just invest myself, but in the green screen if I end up doing it. I appreciate the thought for sure. Yeah, I mean, I like the background we have. I think the background we have is good. But I think it's also good to evolve, not get too complacent. So they jam Lurrus, we get to leak. Guess they double. If we can get a card off of our Lurrus and like stopping them from getting a card off of it, it's going to be a really big deal. You watched someone play a real similar deck this past weekend against Gigi. That's cool. Maybe some parallel thinking. Been working on it for a few days now. I guess I started working on it last week when I was trying to make this deck work with Witch's Cottage, and the mana base was terrible. But like this deck itself, like the Sultai control deck with Lurrus' Companion, did feel good. That was like, this felt like the best part. Seemed like my opponent, you know, was thinking about going for their Lurrus. We know their hand is Lurrus mystery card, and they decided against it. I think we're gonna wait a bit. Yeah, this mirror match is probably really, really interesting. Kind of reminds me of like old Legacy mirror matches. Did I consider Pulse? I feel like you'd rather play Unearth than Pulse in this deck, but Pulse is interesting. You know, they're drawing Cryptic. Although they might actually... I'm just going to draw both now, so I have access to everything on their turn. They might actually shuffle, though, since we know their top card. I think it's like generally correct to shuffle in my opponent's spot here. Yeah, cool. Lantern control, baby. This mirror seems awful to play. Subjective. This is the kind of mirror I love. Can't get enough of this kind of stuff. But it has Lurrus, 2 other cards in hand. Do I want to snap Charm here? Probably not, especially if they have Cryptic. I want to maybe make them use Cryptic defensively and get to mana leak it. There are 2 types of people. Yeah, there's more than that. Yikes. Yeah, I can't let them have Cling. I need to force that. So they're gonna get to Lurrus, but we have Decay plus push for like their Lurrus plus Goyf. We can also like mana leak a Cryptic if they have it here, but I think they would have Cryptic the Snapcast. Unlucky. This is our last card. Cling is also really good against our Snapcaster if we were holding it there. Alright, things have swung in their favor. Yeah, I don't think Mana Leak is getting any more alive than this. Maybe a little more live, but just like getting to use it's kind of nice, especially if we get to trade it for another one. So I'll go push their Goyf, decay their Lurrus, then they'll have one card in Cling to Dust. We'll have our new card plus 2 a Snapcaster and Ice-Fang in play. They have more life to work with. Okay, that can we can force their Cling, which is nice. So good to draw a spell. Notably, like, we could have chosen to try to play around our opponent having a mana leak there. I think it was fine the way we... Not the end of the world, I guess, if they drew another force or something. Alright, they drew one of their 2 cards as an island. Oh, what a sick draw. Swingy map. Unlucky for them that they drew push. Unlucky for them. If they push Snapcaster or Ice-Fang, we get to go bounce. Unlucky. Then I think I'm just going to draw 2 off of my charm. Oh, whoops. Wrong mode. How's the deck performing against Jund Shadow? We just beat it. It's probably favored, if I had to say, but I'm still learning the deck. I put it together, or I was working on it hard last night. It's been like 4 hours playing it. I had like a really rough draft on Sunday that I played some, so like we're certainly still in like the testing phase. Hard for me to tell you how good or bad matchups are yet, but I think the deck is good. Is kind of just a general tap draw. Brutal for them to have to do that. I don't know how the stop ended up getting taken off. I'm gonna lock him. We're still streets ahead, but turned into less brutal for them, I guess. My opponent's gonna wonder how I have all this gas. They're drawing a logic now. Nice that they've already used their Cling. They can't have Cling here. Okay. Game 1 are in our favor. Can I stop including reflecting pools in your deck? You don't own any copy. You're gonna make me buy it. I think that people who play mid-range control decks, especially 3-color ones that have triomes, should pick up a reflecting pool. I think reflecting pools are pretty important to have access to. We got the trophy. Probably want to play no more than 1 Force of Negation. Second Unearth for sure. Kind of want to cut mana leaks. At least the first leak. Is the reason for no pool and Scrollblade, no Triumph? Yes, and also Scrollblade doesn't play any double white or double green spells. It does play a couple double blue spells, but you know, your requirements. Yeah, EE is okay. I kind of like EE plus Lurrus as like outs to Goyfs and stuff, but we just have so many answers to Goyf, you know? I don't know, yeah, creatures are just not surviving very often in this matchup. I was stuck against Tron E-Tron. I haven't played the matchup yet. Probably not that good, but probably okay. Maybe needs more sideboard cards for those matches. No, I don't think you want to play more than 1 Force. Force is like the threats in this matchup are creatures, but creatures that you want to counter. I don't know. It's also like a 2-for-1. Like they don't have like planeswalkers that they're tapping out for, which is usually why Force shines in these matches. Any chance of a tar pit? I mean, it might be correct to play a tar pit, but I boy do I hate that card. I don't know. We'll keep. Any word to running out of threats? I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, this is the mirror match, so maybe. But we have You know, my first drafts of this deck, I'll tell you, I actually had no Tar Pit and no Goyfs. Just, I was like, maybe I can just win with Snapcaster Ice-Fang Lurrus beats. And I was winning, but I did have one match against Jeskai where I did run out of threats. And I was pretty ahead on cards. I just like had no threats left in my deck, and I realized I should probably play some Goyfs or Tar Pits, and I couldn't bring myself to play Tar Pit, so here we are. I like River of Tears. I don't know. Yeah, Tar Pit's probably fine. That being said, I tend to build my control decks with less win conditions than most people, from what I can gather. So, you know, you can use that information how. It's gonna jam a Goyf, I think. It's nice because you know, we're playing the mirror. My opponent, you know, saw my list on Twitter and liked it. I know that my opponent can't tap out for a Planeswalker. So them stacking their Spellbomb here certainly indicates that they're land light. We'll just kind of keep that in the back of our heads here. I would put my the green black Strixhaven command. If that's the one you're talking about, I think it could be playable in a deck like this. That definitely did cross my mind when I was putting this list. I'm getting Forest here. Goes with the Flooded Grove pretty well. I also think I'm just putting Lurrus into the hand. I think you're probably supposed to do this pretty aggressively in this matchup, because like your opponent just can't punish you by tapping out for very much. Did they mulligan? They did. Thanks, Karen. Always nice to see a colleague in chat. I might cast Cruel Ultimate in Modern. I did for a Dono deck once. I cast it off of a Kess. Like cast a spell from the graveyard. Felt. I could cycle Unearth to grow the Goyf. Unearth is just so good though. Yeah, I'm not sure. It's kind of close, right? I'm gonna do it. We're pretty ahead here. We have a second Unearth anyways. Wait, what's tomorrow? I don't really know. Oh, you're talking about for the PT tomorrow? Does it start tomorrow? I'm not qualified if that's what you're saying. Missed this one. Hopefully we'll be back for the next. Yeah, you can maybe play Jace. I think Jace is considered. But also, doesn't the PT start on Friday? Why not Drown? Like, I had a Drown in my first draft. I feel like without Thought Scours or discard spells, Drown's not as good as it is with those cards. You could play Thought Scours, but I'm not. But like Thought Scours and Baubles are a lot of cantrips, so I'm not. Just not sure, I guess. It's a good draw. Especially if they push my Goyf here. Go Lurrus. Logic not up. Bauble. Abrupt Decay on top, that's fine. Yeah, I'm always trying to improve. I don't ever want to say that I'm accomplished. But I did have like one Drown yesterday. Just didn't feel that good without the discard spells in the main or counter spells. Or sorry, Thought Scours, not counter spells. How did last league go? We actually beat Elementals. This is the first league of the day. Just been a long one. I'm glad we have so many people here. I didn't think we are gonna have nearly this many people here for, you know, a stream that is, you know, like an hour or 2 hours after when I usually stop streaming. It's pretty cool. Kind of enjoying the late night vibe. So thanks everybody for being here. EU new nerds reporting in. Gonna force. Wait, why would they? I guess they're just playing about Mana Leak, but force pitching Snapcaster, I don't know. Feels a bit loose to me. I'm just gonna Cryptic here. Game is pretty over. Oh wait, they still have their Lurrus. How have they not put Lurrus in their hand yet? They don't have a 2-drop. I think holding up the snare is good though, just in case they draw Ice-Fang, Snapcaster, or Wave. I do go to bed pretty early usually. Esther's working, or she's closing tonight, so you know, not missing out on too much by streaming late. Valky in this deck lose. I mean, we have to play red probably. I think Valky's just not that good without Bring to Light. It's just like, I think not a card you can play, or at least like that you should play. I guess we don't have an answer to their Lurrus. If they get back Spellbomb, I guess if they get back Spellbomb, they can't push my Lurrus. I feel like this normal time is pretty EU friendly. Yeah. It's like I get like a lot of like late night EU people, and then like the early morning Americans. I mean, I think this matchup is all about Lurrus, so I think them valuing it pretty hard is. I would say this matchup is all about Lurrus. Interesting draw. Let's see what they're drawing. We know that they have. I guess they have a mystery card, and then they're drawing Archmage's Charm. Well, kind of hard to not go snap Unearth when we can. I think we just cast. Kind of stinks not to have Logic not up, but like we don't need to Logic. Like if at least the Charm we know they're drawing doesn't need to be. We haven't drawn a single removal spell. Not that like we're super ahead, but it's kind of funny. There's also no creature in the yard for Goyf. They let me untap. It's hard to imagine them winning. I guess I can do it. Yeah, I can do it, but it's difficult to imagine. I think I'm just sending. I don't think I want to go like Cryptic Tap or anything. I think I'm just sending. They're gonna go Cryptic Tap? No way. I guess they probably don't have better options, but it's kind of game over. I'm gonna go counter tap. I guess Veil of Summer still taps my team. Whatever. Yeah, I'm glad the Esper Inverter Herder deck got published. That deck was too cool not to make the dumps. Opponent says that they were 3-0, so combined Sultai 7-1 with 1 loss in the mirror. It's good to hear that Sultai deck's good. Would love to 5-0 here. Let's get a prediction going. Trophy number 11 be peeking up here on the leader. You can keep this. Opponent didn't reveal Lure. I'm gonna lead on Bauble myself. Ice-Fang on top. Easy draw that. What is blue-red prowess probably? Well, Goyf not looking too good here. Honestly, Blue-Red Prowess is kind of scary because we don't have very many answers to Stormwing. We've got one trophy, we've got the Ice-Fangs. That's about it. Maybe. What do you think about Dead of Winter? I feel like I don't have like maybe enough Snowlands to support it, but maybe it would be good. Be something to think about. I'm playing explosives instead of that. Hopefully they just play Sprite Dragon and I get to block it with Ice-Fang. Not lucky enough. Good start for opponent. Push would be nice to find. Cling is weird. Force is also kind of weird. Let's cycle this now. Yeah, I really wanted to draw a blue card here. Blitzkrieg, 3 months. Thanks for the great content. Keep me interested in Magic. Well, thank you for the kind words. I appreciate it. I'm feeling really good today. I know yesterday... Yesterday wasn't as good, but today's been feeling really good. So thanks for that, guys. I really wanted to save the Force for Lava Dart, but I think this is just too enticing. Like, if they just attack with both 1-drops and leave the Stormwing back and I get to kill both of their guys. Or, like, you know, if this happens too, this is just so nuts for us. Holy crap. Better than I ever could have imagined. That turn went better than I ever could have hoped for. Snow-covered island on top. Let me just go ahead and grab a swamp. Play Goyf with Logic Knot up. So we're definitely ahead here. I'm not gonna Logic Knot the Soulscar Mage. I could, because you know it does maybe kill my Goyf, but like if they attack and then I block and they bolt, I'll Logic Knot the bolt and they need a second bolt to not get 2 for 1. And if they have a Stormwing entity, I'm gonna really hope to have Logic. Becomes a 2/3. Counter it. Or is this bait? I feel like this is bait, but if it is bait for a bolt, the bolt still kills my Goyf if I don't counter it, so it's still... Lava Dart. So they need to sack a mountain in order to kill the Goyf here. So better for us than bolts because it end up, you know, losing the mountain. Big draw step. We still have Lurrus. I can't cast the Charm here. Just put Lurrus into the hand. We're doing alright though. Charm is still a fine draw. Notably, point against Darkslick Shores. I'm not sure about the Shores. I think they could be River of Tears or like one River of Tears. Still trying to figure everything out. The mana base in this deck has been really... And nobody ever offers advice on how to build mana bases. We're down to 8. So I can go Lurrus Charm. I can go Lurrus Goyf Darkslick Shores. I can go Lurrus... Yeah, big Drowned Catacomb. Yeah, we could maybe play Catacomb. I did have like one Tango land, or Check land, sorry, not Tango. Check land in some of my earlier drafts. I could buy it. I'm gonna go Lurrus Charm. Shores Ice Tunnel seems not great. Yeah, that's a good point. They're drawing another Swift Spear. I already have a Reflecting Pool, B_sent. Are you suggesting a second Reflecting Pool? Because I am kind of interested. So many. They have a spell here. They're paying. Oh no, we're gonna lose. They didn't attack. Alright. I'm at 1 life. I have offered a gentleman's agreement here to be at 1 life to my... I'm just drinking a protein shake. We're not dead, of course, because it's... So we are now going, we're going to 4, down to 2. Doing okay. The only reason I could think of not to hold up trying to counter whatever spells there has dart. Well, we just die. We just die if we don't block with Lurrus. Is the problem. So we're at 4, right? We're at 4. Yeah, we're at 4. So I think if they attack with just dragon, okay. We're at 2. Okay, we're at 2. So I guess I'm gaining life. I mean, we have 1 draw either way, but we've arc. So 5 down to 3 life. I shouldn't have played the island, whatever. Tough stuff. Flooding out anyways, I guess. Rough game 1. We were so ahead, I felt like. I don't know how we lost. Got to double block with Ice-Fang. Keeping the trophy because we need to be able to kill Stormwing. Might even want a second trophy in the sideboard. I had a castle in some of my earlier drafts. It felt not very good to me. It could be good though. I could be wrong. Obviously, still pretty early into the testing. I'm just gonna play 1 explosives. Is that crazy? Yeah, that's crazy. 24 lands with deck with 4 Ice-Fang, 4 Bauble sounds like a lot. Yeah, we could play. I think we could play 23. My thing though is like, because we have Lurrus as a companion, we're okay with like, you know, hitting our land drops. Like we have that flood insurance. But that thinking could not be correct. Could a Bauble maybe. This Bauble helps the Goyfs. I'm just gonna cut all the force. That's okay. We can keep. Probably could put back Goyf. Sorry, I'm stuttering a lot. Could put back Snap. Could be Ice-Fang. It's all obviously these are just all cards in our hand. I know it kind of feels bad because I want to hit that land, but the Ice-Fang's not gonna be very likely to death touch anytime soon. Is what I'm thinking here. Let's draw another one. Why not put back Charm? Charm is one of the best cards of this matchup, stealing their 1-mana creatures. I think it was all a very, very close call there, though. I think that you can make a case for almost any card in our hand. Except for a land. I was supposed to wait on that because they have growth. They're more likely to cast it in one of these phases, actually. 3/4 Goyf, though. It's pretty good. Uh-oh. Believers are sweating. Pretty surprised you didn't want to take the damage and play Ice-Fang to hit the land drop. My thinking here was like Goyf stabilizes pretty well against 2 Swift Spears, so I wanted to kill the mage, but that's good for us to hit those. I'm gonna block here, I think. I want to make them have another spell in their hand to kill the Goyf. The upside of not taking 4 is huge. Or like we'd be at 1 if we didn't block. Anyways, I'm gonna fetch a basic island on my turn. They only have 1 card in their hand. To flood it out with the Light Up the Stages, although I guess they're drawing up to 2 here. Fetching immediately. Shocking. Yeah, they've had really good hands both games, but I mean, Blue Red Prowess is very consistent and powerful deck. Sorry, believers. Feels really bad. I think we drew like decent too. Who was it that is about to have 500? Marky Mark. You'd have more than 500,000, right? You'd be a very, very rich man.